1allspub here. It's the evening of 15 October 2013. Tonight I've got kind of a fun video for you all. And it is a tag video of sorts from John at 1allspub. A couple weeks ago, John released a video featuring his magnificent the 7 knives in his collection that he would never ever sell. And he mentioned what they were and gave us some reasons why, and asked his friends and subscribers on YouTube to follow suit. Doesn't have to be 7, just a number of knives in your collection that are never for sale, that are important to you, so important that you'll go hungry before you will sell them. And I have mine for you tonight, and my number not by peer pressure or a desire to conform, but just by the way it came out. I also have 7 knives for you. So let's go through them, shall we? And we'll give them a quick wipe for the camera before we talk about them. First, no surprise to most of you, in my collection, and this is in not necessarily an order of importance, but the first one we'll talk about is my trusty and beloved Spyderco Paramilitary 2. This knife about 4 years old, I guess. The one and only pair of 2 I've ever owned, and it's exactly the way I wanted it. It is in S30V steel with the G10 Digicam scales, satin blade, no nonsense, and beautiful Paramilitary 2. I believe it is a historically significant knife from Spyderco. I believe it is possibly the best, the greatest everyday carry pocket knife ever made. From the strength of its lockup to its strength to weight ratio to its beautiful and functional blade design to the steel choice to the lock mechanism and the sheer fun to play with. Hard to beat a Paramilitary 2, and what a value. Even at nowadays in the 130 to 150 range because of their scarcity. Still a great knife for the money. Not for sale ever. Next, and you're going to expect this one too. Yep, Benchmade 940. This one, not only is it a great EDC blade and a super strong knife for its size and weight, yeah, this one's got my channel name etched into the blade, as most of you know. Beautifully anodized aluminum handle, Parkerized split arrow clip, requested from Benchmade by me when they did the blade replacement and etching. Gorgeous purple titanium backspacer. What is this, a sub 3 ounce knife with a 3 7/16 inch blade, all cutting edge. My particular 940 ground very thinly behind the edge. Again, sort of a special request from Benchmade. What a great EDC blade. I said in one of my videos on this knife that I think it is the best modern interpretation of the pocket knife that we have today. Love this knife. It's never for sale. Next, again, this will not be a surprise to my subscribers. I've waited 20 years for this one. Just got it about a month ago. This is a Chris Reeve large Sebenza 21, left-handed. What a beauty. What beautiful smooth action it has. What beautiful noises it makes. What a gorgeous blade. It's getting some pocket wear on it now, some wedding ring wear on the frame. My blue thumb stud's getting a little charcoal gray gunmetal thing going on the tip from use, and it's starting to be a member of the family. This is my first Sebenza. I'm sure it won't be my last. It is the Plain Jane Sebi. The bare bones, the empirical Sebenza, so to speak. Never for sale. Now we get into some more interesting ones. These next two are special for two reasons. Not only do I love them as knives, they were also both Christmas gifts from my wonderful, loving wife, Heidi. First one, Spyderco Gale Bradley. Christmas 2011. Let's take a look at this beautiful Taichung produced Spyderco for a minute, will ya? The gorgeous and functional cutting blade, hollow ground out of CPM M4, an absolute bear to sharpen, but boy, it doesn't need it very often. The gorgeous carbon fiber and G10 laminate scales, the beautiful polish of the liners, the beautiful PVD Spyderco pocket clip, the bank vault-like liner lock with perfect lockup. You will wear your thumb out on that lock. Again, listen to the gorgeous noises. It's not a snick. It's more of a clunk, like the door of a bank vault closing. Almost sounds like a Sebenza. Whoops. There we go. What a functional handle for just cutting. There's nothing tactical about this. This designed by Mr. Gale Bradley of Weatherford, Texas, to do nothing but cut. He didn't design it to be easy to open and close, although it's not difficult. It is a little difficult to close. Not much to get there, is there, on that liner? Just sort of have to jam the fat of your thumb down in the gap and squeeze it over. He designed this knife to lock open and stay open so it could work. Love this knife. And it was a gift from Heidi. Never going anywhere, not for sale. Next, Christmas 2012. Colt Steel Recon 1 clip point plain edge, second generation. Demco Triad lock, no steel liners. Superb ergonomics, great strength, great slicer, beautiful stone-washed AUS 8A cryoed. This gorgeous stone wash, of course, revealed after removing the ridiculous Teflon coating. Look at that baby. Why is this knife never for sale? Well, not only was it a gift from my wife, this is the knife that if SHTF, if I'm going to be out slogging through the cold, wet winter countryside in northeast Indiana and I got to take a folder that I can depend on without destroying, this is the knife I'm taking. You guys have seen me hard use this thing. You've seen me torture it. You've seen me modify it. And you talk about a classic blade shape. Classic Bowie. All belly. What a cutter. Never for sale. Remember that video on most surprising knives? This one made that list. Let's give this brilliant gleaming D2 drop point super sweep blade, as I like to call it, a good wipe, and let this baby come before the camera for a few seconds. Just look at that. Gorgeous polished satin finish. Big slab, big hunk of D2, beautifully crowned spine, gorgeous hard anodized aluminum handle. You know, at first glance, this is not a practical knife. Upon a few months of ownership, however, oh yes it is. You think, it's too big for EDC. It's too hard to operate. Too pretty to be a tactical knife, and the handle's so slippery. Well, I'm here to tell you, it is an EDC blade. It is carryable, and it is a tactical blade. Slick or not, you take a saber grip on this thing and it's not going anywhere. And oh, what a slasher. Can you imagine having that belly raked across the soft tissue of your body? It wouldn't be raking across very long. It'd be laying open. How about that reverse grip? Oh my. Functional knife art from Italy, and deadly. Never for sale. Love this knife. Well, we got one more to go, don't we? And this one's never gone anywhere. A knife I've had 3 of in my life. This one the most special. Got a full review on this knife. Oh gosh, coming up on a year ago. Let's take a look. Found myself out of buck 110s a couple years ago. Realized I needed to rectify that. So I went hunting, not at my local Walmart for a new one with laminated plywood scales, but went hunting for an old one. Went all the way back to 1981 so I could get some 440C. Look at this. Got this out of an old gentleman's collection. Been sitting in a safe its whole life. Little sheath wear on the brass bolsters. This gorgeous satin finished hollow ground clip blade in 440C had never been sharpened, didn't have a mark on it. All it's got for me is a little touching up. The gorgeous black walnut scales. Just look at that thing. Is there a more iconic, more classic folding knife than the Buck 110? We think we have tactical knives in 2013. This knife started it all, boys. The first mass-produced, high-quality folding knife with a blade that locked open. For years, the Buck lockback was regarded as the strongest lock in the knife business. And let's take a look at this one. I got 0 up and down play. Just a touch of side-to-side play to give it some freedom of motion. Big heavy back spring. This one's unmodified. A lot of guys got into their Buck 110s with screwdrivers and bent their back springs to make them come open easier. This one's unmolested, original, and beautiful. And yep, never for sale. Still got its 32-year-old black leather buck sheath. You know, there was a time for, I don't know, 20 years that knife guys all had sheaths just like this dangling from their belt. any self-respecting knife guy. Had a buck 110 on him. So there are my 7, boys. Buck 110, Lion Steel SR1A, Cold Steel Recon 1, Spyderco Gale Bradley, Chris Reeve Sebenza, and my 2 all-timers, the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 and the Benchmade 940. Well, there you go, John. There's my magnificent 7. Hope you all enjoyed looking at them. Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. And remember, the word is sharp.